Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Today's reading will be the beginning of the ninth chapter titled Landing on Planet Earth in Zecharia Sitchin's The 12th Planet. Chapter 9 Landing on Planet Earth. We have set foot only on the moon and have probed only the planets closest to us with unmanned craft. Beyond our relativity beyond our relatively close neighbors, both interplanetary and outer space are still outside the reach of even small scanning craft. But the Nephilim's own planet, with its vast orbit, has served as a traveling observatory, taking them through the orbits of all the outer planets and enabling them to observe at first hand most of the solar system. No wonder then that when they landed on Earth, a good deal of the knowledge they brought with them concerned astronomy and celestial mathematics. The Nephilim, or gods of heaven upon earth, taught man to look up unto the heavens, just as Yahweh urged Abraham to do. No wonder, too, that even the earliest and crudest sculptures and drawings bore celestial symbols of constellations and planets, and that when the gods were to were to be represented or invoked, their celestial symbols were used as a graphic shorthand. By invoking the celestial or the divine symbols, man was no longer alone. The symbols connected earthlings with the Nephilim, earth with heaven, mankind with the universe. Some of the symbols, we believe, also convey information that could be related only to space travel to Earth. Ancient sources provide a profusion of texts and lists dealing with the celestial bodies and their associations with the various deities. The ancient habit of assigning several epithet names to both the celestial bodies and the deities has made identification difficult. Even in the case of established identifications such as Venus or Ishtar, the picture is confused by the changes in the pantheon. Thus, in earlier times, Venus was associated with Ninurshag. Somewhat greater clarity has been obtained by scholars such as E. D. Van Buren in The Symbols of the Gods in Mesopotamian Art, who assembled and sorted out more than 80 symbols of gods and celestial bodies that can be found on cylinder seals, sculptures, stelae, reliefs, murals, and in great detail and clarity on boundary stones. Kuduru in Akkadian, which is Kuduru in Akkadian. When the classification of the symbols is made, it becomes evident that apart from standing for some of the better known southern or northern constellations, such as the sea serpent for the constellation Hydra, they represented either the 12 constellations of the zodiac, for example, the crab for Scorpio, or the 12 gods of heaven and earth, or the 12 members of the solar system. The Kuduru, set up by Melishippak, king of Susa, um, which was referred on all the way back on page 185, shows the 12 symbols of the zodiac and the symbols of the 12 astral gods. A stela erected by the Assyrian king Esarhaddon shows the ruler holding the cup of life while facing the 12 chief gods of heaven and earth. We see 4 gods atop animals, of whom Ishtar on the lion and Adad holding the forked lightning can definitely be identified. 4 other gods are represented by the tools of their special attributes, as the war god Ninurta by his lion-headed mace. The remaining 4 gods are shown as celestial bodies: the sun, which is Shamash; the winged globe, which is the 12th planet, the abode of Anu; the moon's crescent; and a symbol consisting of 7 dots in figures 116. It'll be on the next page. Although in later times the god Sin was associated with the moon, identified by the crescent, ample evidence shows that in olden times the crescent was a symbol of an elderly and bearded deity, one of Sumer's true olden gods. Often shown surrounded by streams of water, this god was undoubtedly Ea. The crescent was also associated with the science of measuring and calculating, of which Ea was the divine master. It was appropriate that the god of the seas and oceans, Ea, be assigned as his celestial counterpart, the moon, which causes the ocean's tides. And here's the figure on the page that we just read. Uh, so the dude right here at center point was an Assyrian king titled, I'm probably pronouncing the dude's name wrong, but Esar-Haddon. And he's holding the um, supposed cup of life while facing the 12 chief gods of heaven and earth. So as you can see, we've got the 4 gods atop the animals. So here we got, I don't know if you guys can see these little deities right here. These, they look like humans. But these 4 people right here, each on their representative counterparts of the zodiac. There's the moon, Nibiru, and the sun, Shamash. Um, and these 7 dots right here, from what referring back to what's written on the what I just read, is the different moon phases. Trying to snap back into place. What was the meaning of the symbol of the 7 dots? Many clues leave no doubt that it was the celestial symbol of Enlil, the depiction of the gateway of Anu, or the winged globe, flanked by Ea and Enlil in figures 87, which is all the way back. Looks like I'm gonna have to make some community post or another video referring back to these figures that Sitchin is trying to show us. Represents them by the crescent and the 7 dot symbol. Some of the clearest depictions of the celestial symbols that were meticulously copied by Sir Henry Rawlinson in the cuneiform inscriptions of Western Asia assigned the most prominent position to a group of three symbols, standing for Anu flanked by his two sons. These show that the symbol for Enlil could be either the seven dots or a seven-pointed star. The essential element in Enlil's celestial representation was the number 7. The daughter Ninurshag was sometimes included or represented by the umbilical cutter, which was figures 117. That's the next page. Scholars have been unable to understand a statement by Gudea, king of Lagash, that the celestial 7 is 50. Attempts at arithmetic solutions, some formula, excuse me, whereby the number 7 would go into 50, failed to reveal the meaning of the statement. However, we see a simple answer. Gudea stated that the celestial body that is 7 stands for the God that is 50. And up top for everyone is figure 117, where it's depicting Anu, then Enki and Lil, and sometimes Ninurshag. And Ninurshag is this little thingy right here. And Sitchin was talking about referring that to the female contraceptive that they have for the women. The god Enlil, whose rank number was 50, had as his celestial counterpart the planet that was 7th. Which planet was the planet of Enlil? We recall the texts that speak of the early times when the gods first came to Earth, when Anu stayed on the 12th planet, and his two sons who had gone down to Earth drew lots. Ea was given the rulership over the deep, and to Enlil the earth was given for his dominion. And the answer to the puzzle bursts out in all its significance. The planet of Enlil was Earth. Earth to the Nephilim was the 7th planet. In February of 1971, the United States launched an unmanned spacecraft on the longest mission to date. For 21 months, it traveled past Mars and the asteroid belt to a precisely scheduled rendezvous with Jupiter. Then, as anticipated by NASA scientists, the immense gravitational pull of Jupiter grabbed the spacecraft and hurled it into outer space, speculating that Pioneer 10 might someday be attracted by the gravitational pull of another solar system and crash land on some planet elsewhere in the universe. The Pioneer 10 scientists attached to it an engraved aluminum plaque bearing the accompanying message in figure 118 on the next page. The message employs a pictographic language, signs and symbols not too different from those used in the very first pictographic writing of Sumer. It attempts to tell whoever might find the plaque that mankind is male and female of a size related to the size and shape of the spacecraft. It depicts the two basic chemical elements of our world and our location relative to a certain interstellar source of radio emissions. And it depicts our solar system as a sun and 9 planets, telling the finder, the craft that you have found comes from the third planet of this sun. Our astronomy is geared to the notion that Earth is the third planet, which indeed it is if one begins to count from the center of our system, the sun. But to someone nearing our solar system from the outside, the first planet to be encountered would be Pluto, the second Neptune, the third Uranus, not Earth. Fourth would be Saturn, fifth Jupiter, sixth, Mars, and Earth would be the seventh. And that does today's reading. But before that, sorry. I try to get everything because everything is. It's a late print book that I'm reading. You know, it's not one of the first editions. But here we go. These are the engravings that are on this. What kind of disc did they say? Aluminum. This here is engraved on aluminum. That's pretty cool. Well, that does today's reading, everyone. Stay tuned as we've got the second part coming up in the next couple days. Just got to make the time for it. That being said, thank you all. I appreciate you being here for the time. Thank you and love you all. Be safe and calm.